Well, good morning. I just realized that my microphone cable is not
It's a
where
Monday.
it needs to be.
It's a new year.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Starting off with a bang. Here we go. I'll take this part.
RJ.
Welcome to the first KSAT News of 2022. As Alicia
It is what it is, you know. Welcome back. We've missed you. You were on a long vacation.
It was a long vacation. Just hanging out here in town and stuff, and got to hang out with some of my brothers for a little bit. Got to see some buddies, but yeah, glad to be back, and hopefully everyone had a good New Year's celebration.
Yeah.
You good now?
Yes, we're good now.
Okay,
I
we're
think
good
so.
to go.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on this morning on KSAT News Now. Alicia, of course, new information on the Pfizer booster for kids. Of course, a lot of parents wondering about that. And what words or phrases have been banished this year? Pretty interesting story. Plus new video. Yeah, plus new video of star NFL players Antonio Brown's mid-game meltdown. Did you see this?
This I have not seen, so I'm excited for that.
Very interesting.
And I'm sure Stick Figure Sports.
Oh yeah, we got Stick Figure Sports.
They're
Gotta
back.
start 2022 with Stick Figure Sports.
Very good. And win or lose, Dak Prescott is just a good dude.
Yes,
we'll show you what he did for a local woman battling cancer. But first, the freeze is here. Winter has come. I have my coat with me, my scarf with me, probably a little bit exaggerated. But Justin is here to fill us in on what we can expect for the next few days. This is something that we've been waiting on.
Yes.
At least I have.
I thought of that Game of Thrones meme where that guy's like, winter is here.
That meme was way overused for many years. But it's
Spanish.
It's out of here.
It
was appropriate. Like now's an okay time to bring it back.
Okay. You accept the meme this time.
I'll accept
You
it.
didn't at that time.
No. I actually really love December. I love the warm temperatures. This I was not so much a fan of, but it is what it is because it's January. We would expect this, right? And these were the temperatures this morning. So we got down to 26 in San Antonio, 21 Bernie Stage, 18 in Kerrville. I think outside of San Antonio, yes, the airport says 26, but I think outside of town there were some pretty low numbers this morning. So hopefully you brought in some of those tender plants and wrap some of those outdoor faucets because temperatures were just that cold. We're warming up though nicely because sun is out, we got dry air. That allows for those temperatures to actually be pretty comfortable this afternoon. There's a look at the lows this morning across the entire area, and everybody was below freezing. I mean, everybody. All the way down to the coast, Corpus Christi, they had below freezing temperatures too. So here's our forecast for today. We do make it into the mid-50s this afternoon. It'll be really nice, sunny skies. And then as we get into tonight, potentially another freeze, but we'll be right on the borderline here in San Antonio. So we'll actually be just a little bit warmer than we were yesterday morning. Still want your coat tomorrow morning, but not as cold. And here's the forecast down the line. We're hoping for a little bit of rain. Maybe by the weekend. We get a front Thursday. It doesn't bring us any rain, just brings us gusty winds and more cool temperatures. But by Saturday and Sunday, there are some showers that will potentially show up San Antonio and points east. So there's a 7-day forecast. Windy on Thursday with that front. We could see another light freeze Friday morning. And by the weekend, we're back up close to 70, but we have added in some very low rain chances. Emphasis on the low because it's 10% at this point. But there could be a couple showers out there. We'll keep an eye on that. It's been a long while since we've had any rain. So that'll be the next thing we're looking for. We waited on this freeze forever. We finally got it. Now we're looking forward to some rain because that's what we need next, guys.
Thank you so much, Justin. Winter. For a few days.
And obviously, I'm actually glad that it is colder. It feels more like the season, but obviously glad that we're not getting precipitation because that obviously makes things a lot more difficult when it's wet out there. And yeah, that's never any fun.
What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, Christmas? It was hot.
It was warm.
And so I was over in Dallas this weekend. We were out shopping in the morning, and I felt like I was dressed too warm for the occasion. But by a few hours later, that cold front just blew in, and the change was radical.
Yeah, you could definitely feel it. No, it was nice to actually be outside and just enjoy the weather for Christmas and even New Year's too. It was pretty nice just hanging out during the day. A little warm, but yeah, it's good to see some of the colder weather.
And sticking with the news of cold, and almost a year after that deadly snow and ice storm in February, Texas puts a final estimate of the death toll. That total has risen to 246 deaths, so that's 36 more people than we last heard.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're almost a year now from when this happened here in our area and across the state. So the numbers were released Friday by the Department of State Health Services, and they described it as the quote final report in an analysis. Those deaths occurred between February 11th and June 4th, which means it includes people who were injured in the storm and did not pass away or die until later, as well as bodies found after the storm and during the repairs, of course, of a lot of homes that were damaged.
So according to the report, the almost 250 people that died happened across Those deaths were reported across 77 counties here in Texas and included victims ranging from less than 1 year old to 102 years old. Close to 2/3 of the deaths were due to hypothermia.
Yeah, and 246 is the best estimate that we're probably going to get. That's what state officials are saying, as experts say it may be impossible to account for every death related to the storm given its far-reaching impact. And I know that we've done several stories, Defender stories also on the amount of deaths that were here in our area in Bexar County. So 77 counties, I mean, that's the entire state really was affected by this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was just a tough situation.
Which is why, you know, going back to this cold front, this strong cold front, many people were on edge because they're scared. They're like, are we going to go through something? Obviously, that's not the case this time around.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people still, you know, suffering with the consequences or thinking back to what they lived through. It was
right,
difficult.
and then you get the CPS emails, which I
Yep.
know that they're just doing their job, sending out their emails, letting people know about a freeze. But yeah, definitely a lot of people on edge. Okay, so moving on, Alicia, to some other local news. Sadly, still no sign this morning of 3-year-old Lena Keel, as we are now, this is hard to believe, in the third week of the search for that little girl.
A San Antonio nonprofit organization and several community members gathered over the weekend to help find Lena. As you remember, Lena was last seen December 20th and still no sign of her.
Yeah, the Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach Organization and about 150 people in the Afghan community met yesterday morning, very early in the morning, to search for Lena in the Greenbelt area near Babcock Road. That's where a lot of searches have been taking place, right?
And despite their efforts, Lena's whereabouts, again, no sign. They're still unknown. Law enforcement issued a 13th Amber Alert last night. Lena was last seen at Villa del Cabo apartment complex. That's on the 9400 block of Fredericksburg Road. And I was mentioning to you, I didn't get that Amber Alert, but I did see, I was driving in from Dallas and I did see several billboards that still mention that the Amber Alert, excuse me, is still active.
Right, and also I did notice over the past couple of days, even the FBI has been tweeting a little bit more about this, and obviously all that stuff is being retweeted on the Texas DPS website. And again, this is hard to believe that we're now 3 weeks in, and I know that last week Chief McManus said that there was that window, right, that they were specifically trying to hone in on and really kind of figure out if anyone has any information on her whereabouts, where she might be or what may have happened.
Yeah, so remember, she was last seen wearing a black jacket, that red dress, and black shoes. If you know anything, if you remember being around that area specifically, call authorities if you know.
Yeah, definitely. They can use any bit of information that the community can offer.
All right, switching gears here to COVID-19. Now to the latest on the vaccine front, with Omicron spreading rapidly. This morning, the Food and Drug Administration cleared the Pfizer BioNTech COVID booster shot for children ages 12 to 15.
The booster dose is the same strength as the dose approved in the primary series. The FDA has already authorized the booster dose for teens 16 years and older.
The timing between the initial series of shots to the booster was also shortened from 6 months to 5 months for everyone over the age of 12.
Yeah, and of course this now has to go through all the proper channels. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention still must sign off on the authorization, and the director of the CDC is expected to make the final decision this week. So COVID, and also this with Omicron spreading rapidly in schools, I know that those numbers have absolutely been just going off the charts right now.
Yeah, I mean, so we were in our news meeting, we were talking about what the effects are for local schools, specifically, you know, K through 12, but earlier, you know, a week ago is when, more or less, is when Trinity University announced their changes. They're delaying the start of their semester, spring semester, because of the amount of COVID-19 cases within their community there. So I'm sure still a lot of changes and a lot of numbers to report in the next coming days.
Absolutely, yeah. Parents definitely, you know, being advised of this and trying to figure out what to do. It's a hard situation to kind of manage through.
All right, sticking with this topic, because, you know, it can get repetitive, right? What's a word that you're sick of hearing?
A word or a phrase?
Either.
I think coming in hot, that one.
What?
Not really a fan of that.
That's not really COVID related. I think
Oh,
mine would be
COVID-related
well, yeah,
words.
I mean,
Oh.
like, I'm
COVID's
sick of
I don't want
unprecedented.
COVID.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, outbreak, that's always one that.
but that's one that you have to use.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, well, a university is putting a stop to the exploitation of everyday language by releasing a list of banished words and terms. Why? Well, because of the misuse, overuse, and what they call uselessness of these terms.
Very interesting. So this list was compiled by Lake Superior State University, and these are the top 10 offenders according to that institution. Wait, what? No worries. At the end of the day, that being said, asking for a friend, circle back. Deep dive, that one I get. I feel like we've done a lot of deep dive stuff. And new normal, you're on mute?
You're on mute, right? Because Zoom.
Yeah, that one would be good. And the last one, supply chain. I don't understand that one.
Well, the supply chain, the supply chain, the supply chain, the supply chain, that.
God.
Well, this is an annual list since 1977 to, quote, uphold, protect, and support excellence in language. Here's why they say the number one offender, which is, wait, what, is a big no-no. They say, quote, the two-part halting interrogative is disingenuous, divergent, deflective, and other words
calm
that
down.
begin with the letter D.
Okay, calm down there, Lake Superior. No one even uses those words.
Yes,
that
they
we just
do.
went
What?
through.
Are you kidding me? But this was before pandemic. Wait, what?
Oh, wait, what? Yeah, that's. You know what? Just as long as they don't take away what it do. That's the only one.
That's,
What it do, baby?
sometimes you just
Come on,
dig
Leonard.
a
Yes.
hole. I'll submit that one. They actually, these are words that are nominated. So I'll nominate what it do. Is that what you said?
Don't nominate.
I'll
what it do.
nominate that
That's-
one in your honor, so you don't use it.
No, then I'll never be able to use it ever
Oh,
again.
bummer.
Yeah, I know. Bummer there. Hey, you know what it do? That's actually a Kawhi Leonard thing. So I know a lot of people hate on Kawhi. But okay, speaking of sports, sticking in this weird sports world and stuff, this is one of the weirdest sports stories and scenes in recent memory. You can see behind me. Antonio Brown apparently called it a career after he just walked off the field yesterday
Hold on,
during
really?
the middle of the game. Yes, look at this. He was yeah, you hadn't seen this yet, right?
No.
Okay, so this is the middle of the game, third quarter. You could see AB right there. And this is shot from some fans that were in the stands. So Brown threw off his
Oh.
shoulder pads. Yeah. Look
A
at, and it
fit.
gets even, okay, check this out. He not only took off his shoulder pads, he later took off his shirt, and then he took off
Yeah,
his
look, he's-
gloves, and then just threw him into the stands.
What? Why? Why is he throwing this
Why?
temper tantrum?
So Antonio Brown has had some issues in the past. He apparently got into an argument with the coaches. They wanted him to go in. He said that he was hurt, did not want to go in. So there's been a lot of back and forth about, look at this. He was even like getting the fans kind of riled up and stuff as he was running off. Weird situation there for Antonio Brown.
So it was an ankle injury that he was saying?
He said that he had an ankle injury and that he couldn't go back in. The coaches said, well, you know, you probably can go back in. So he had this injury earlier in the week, played in the game in the first half. Apparently he may have gotten upset over some playing time, and so here we are, Antonio Brown.
So he walked away, and then he actually got dumped by them?
Yes, they cut him like after the game. Yeah, the
Well, I
head
would
coach of
cut
the
him
Bucks
too.
basically was like, you're no longer a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Wow. So it says here his
I like how your
future has
reaction.
been up in the air because he had a 3-game suspension for violating the COVID-19 protocols.
He submitted a fake vaccination card. Yes, and he was suspended for 3 games. So look, I mean, some people saying too that, you know, this might be more of a mental health issue with AB, but at the same time, it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Well,
in sports.
you know, on people commenting on Twitter, Malcolm Gladwell, he tweeted, "I'm stunned by the lack of sympathy for Antonio Brown. He's clearly struggling. Is this how we treat people who are going through difficult times?" So
yeah, I think there's definitely more to go into when it comes to that, because obviously this has never happened before, and so I don't
that
think
was
any sort
very
of normal
dram-
player.
I mean,
yeah. This is
very
just a weird
dramatic. I mean, it's
situation.
one thing to walk
It
off,
was a weird
right? But
situation.
I mean, you throw
Yeah.
things and take your shirt off, and
Yeah.
the jersey, which means a lot, you know.
And then he tried to call an Uber to get back to the team hotel. He didn't even have like a team official. He had to get some guy who picks up celebrities in New York to go pick him up. This is a very weird situation.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
You to follow
I'm
that
invested now. I'm going to go down in the Twitter sphere.
There we go. Okay.
In happier news.
Hey, what's up?
No, I take that back.
Yeah.
This is going to be sad.
Well, both is going to be sad here. That's some of it. Okay, so often imitated, never duplicated. Not that anyone ever would try. Okay, this is the first time for Stick Figure Sports for 2022, and we have a weekend of L's, as I call it. Where's the camera? L's.
And there it is.
Yes, the
There
weekend
it
of
is.
L's for the Cowboys and Spurs. Start off with the Spurs here. Okay, so they were in Detroit on New Year's Day, lost. Detroit's worst record in the NBA.
Hate to see it.
Detroit was missing 13 players. Now, the Spurs did have a few players that are out for health and safety protocols. So you see Derek White having to hold it down. I drew that there. And then Motown for Detroit. Motown, Motor City. There we go. That's an old car for some reason. And then that's a horrible drawing of the coyote. I don't know what I was thinking there. Would you
I
guess
don't know
that's
either.
the coyote?
Well, yes, because of his cheeks and the eyes.
Okay. It
But
looks like a
other
zombie
than that,
coyote.
you know, if my nephew drew that, I would ask him what it is. But since we know context
Yeah.
clues here, then
Yes,
I
there we
pieced
go.
it together.
Okay, so Spurs do lose to the Detroit Pistons, and we're going to switch over here to the Cowboys in just a little bit. But real quick on the Spurs, they play tomorrow in Toronto. Okay, Cowboys time. What happened here?
I don't
Alicia,
know.
what?
Okay, I'll be honest.
What?
I didn't watch the game.
Oh my God.
I was focused on hanging out with my family and
Good.
shopping.
That's probably better. Better than having to
That's it.
go through this game.
Yeah.
I put on
But
their
I did read the headlines, and I was like, ooh.
Yes. I put on their Cowboys blah because I have no idea what happened in this game yesterday. They were
Yeah,
at
apparently
home.
they were like they almost.
They almost.
Well, like it was a horrid game, right? They were like 7 on the third quarter.
Okay,
I don't
so
even know.
they just
Okay, you
they
tell
were
me.
just out of whack the entire game, and so the big news here is that Kyler Murray, he was Arizona's coach, and I put him there in the co-owner's box at AT&T Stadium with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones making his very first appearance on Stick Figure Sports because Kyler Murray is undefeated at Jerry
Which one's
World.
Jerry?
That's Jerry right there.
Does Jerry still have hair?
I got a little bit of hair, yeah.
Okay,
Don't be messing with Jerry's hairline there. Kyler Murray's undefeated at Jerry World. He played there 5 times in high school, Allen High School, played there in college, and now has been the Cowboys twice there. So he even tweeted out a picture of him like, I own Jerry World right now. Kyler Murray did. This is the Cardinals quarterback. So then the Cowboys were also blaming the zebras, the refs, yesterday. So I drew a little zebra because they were complaining about the refs. And then Dak Prescott over there, you know what? Dak had himself a good game. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened here. This was just a frustrating game for the
It
Cowboys.
was a good game for him.
Yes, it was a decent game for him. He did have a late fumble, but it was not a bad game.
Well, I'll have to rewatch it because I don't know.
Yeah, and no, Dak is down there. He's saying we're good. Cowboys are still in the playoffs.
Which is important.
Yes,
I mean, at the end of the
and
day.
they may actually play the Cardinals again in the first round.
Oh, well, that's not a
we
good
go.
sign. Yikes. Well, check out a San Antonio woman. She got an amazing surprise from none other than amazing Dak Prescott. And it wasn't just any shout out. Turns out the two are bonded by their connection to breast cancer. Take a look.
I believe his mom has breast cancer, and I do too, so I connect on that level with him.
What Brandy didn't know is Eloise made up a contest that KSAT sponsored, and we played along. Eloise had something special in store for Brandy.
What's up, Brandy? It's Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and got wind that you just had your 40th birthday, so I wanted to wish you a happy belated birthday. But more importantly, heard about the fighter you are.
He mentioned my name, wished me well.
You can just see that emotion.
Yeah. Love that story. And again, it's like when you think about it, Dak Prescott, I mean, we, have fun with the stick figure sports
Yeah.
and, he had a good game, bad game. I mean, win or lose, it's whatever. But it's him doing stuff like that, which really means a lot to a lot of people and that sort of
Absolutely.
connection. And I think Dak's mother passed away from breast cancer, right? So that's where the connection is.
Yeah, and he's very outspoken and does a lot for that community. And Brandy was also given a $1,500 check to cover her deductible for the year that was gifted by the nonprofit Thrive Well, which supports cancer fighters just like Brandy.
Yeah, love that story there. And of course, love the fact that Dak took some time out of his day to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was an awesome surprise, and our prayers for her recovery. And hopefully, she continues to fight the good fight there.
I love that he still introduces, like he tells you who he is. Like
I didn't even catch that. That's pretty good.
Store, and be like, yeah, I know who you are. You know?
That's pretty good. I didn't even catch that. Hey, I'm Dak Prescott. Like, yes.
Quarterback. We know this.
Of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our first KNN KSAT News Now of 2022. Feels kind of crazy to say.
It is weird, yeah, but definitely glad to be back. And again, we stream on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course KSAT.com. And we're gonna be trying out some pretty cool stuff, I think, this year with this show. So
Yes.
get ready. And for everyone who's checking us out, we really appreciate that.
And first on the list is going to be making stick figure sports color. We need crayons.
Oh
We
my
need
God.
markers.
Look, this is
We need you
already
to
a
step
work
it
of
up.
art.
Step
Right
it up.
here.
All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Stay warm and have a great day.